Well, good afternoon, everyone. Glad to see we could fill the room pretty much. Did a few of these before, and definitely our best crowd so far yet. So, like Josh said, my name's Travis. I'm a fourth generation farmer. I farm northeast of Medicine Hat at a little town called Schuler, Alberta. I grow cereal grains and basically pulses, chickpeas and maple peas. We run a commercial cow herd on our ranch also. Reason I even contacted Josh 5 years ago is we kept pounding synthetic fertilizers onto our land, and we kept increasing the amount of bushels we could grow, but our net returns kept going down. Our yields plateaued for about 3 years, and our fertility rates kept going up, and our net returns kept going down and down to where we were breaking even or losing money, even growing big crops when it was raining. So I started doing some research online, and there was lots of buzz already 5 years ago about biologicals and soil health. So I started contacting as many companies as I could that had biological products, and everybody just told me, well, there's spores and everything's proprietary, and really give me no information on their product. A lot of them had no research or data. Found Josh, phoned him up, and he was brutally honest. He said, we've never actually used this product or a product in agriculture. But in a day, he emailed me back and had every strain of bacteria with their functions and a big write-up and some university papers attached to the email for me to read, which was more than anybody had ever given me before. Read all that and thought they had something here, and I had a lot more questions that Josh couldn't answer, so he actually hooked me up with a conference call out of the Raymond office with Dr. John here, and John answered every question that I had, and there was transparency the whole way. So that was the reason I ordered two 55-gallon drums, sprayed them on some yellow peas on our Elkwater farm the very first year. And some of the growth results that we've seen were incredible. Better nodulation, bigger leaves, thicker stems, about 1 to 2 more peas in a pod. The only sad thing of that year was we got hailed out 100% in the end of July on that crop. But we did see enough growth and enough positive results that we set up the very first brew station in Canada. And that's the very first one. So we've come a long ways to what we're going to unveil with Ryan later with touchscreen PLCs, but it works. It's still going to be brewing this spring, and it's cost effective. So that's where we started. So then the second year we put ACF on 2,500 acres, and we started injecting it in furrow based on John's recommendations. This is a setup of my drill, a 3310 Paralink with dual liquid systems. Front tank is microbes mixed with orthophosphate from Alpine. And on our farm, we found good synergy with the orthophosphate and the ACF together in furrow. Our germinations are better, our roots are bigger, and I believe it has allowed us to get away from any sort of chemical seed treatment. We've been chemical seed treatment free since 2016. Fungicide free since 2016 and pesticide free since 2016. And I do believe it has to do with our agronomy program and our soil health. So for our program, we're running 2 gallons of ACF mixed with 5 gallons an acre of G22 Alpine in the furrow. Another thing that I follow really, really closely on our farm is Brix levels. These are green lentils on our farm in 2016 with 20 inches of rain in the growing season and 0 fungicide, 0 seed treatment, and no pesticide. My neighbors were spraying for aphids, and we had very little to no aphids. But I follow Brix levels really closely. The Brix on these lentils in this picture were 17 to 20, and the neighbors across the road were between 4 and 6. Just another picture of my green lentils to show really at flowering there was little to no disease pressure at all in these things. Another nice picture that Kaylee took. So this is another experiment that we had on our farm. This low area here, I spent all summer mowing when I was a kid. It's a high salinity area, and what we had was a dugout here and a dam that we pushed flat, and we have very little to no topsoil in our area, so they pushed all the clay and everything back on top, and we couldn't grow anything except kochia weeds and sow thistle. We seeded alfalfa, overseeded with barley, and we put 4 gallons of ACF on to start with some humic. And this is second year stand. That's actually second cut in 2018. So usually we're running between 40 to 44 inch tall alfalfa in our salinity zones. This was the very first 15 acre patch. I did 2 of them the first year because my father said it wasn't going to work. And we tried 2 with results. We do now have just under 300 acres that look exactly like this on our farm in various areas that we grew nothing on before. So with these 300 acres, we're actually feeding a 200 head cow herd and not buying any feed on land that was pretty much garbage for us. So when we calculate that into the whole farm ROI, we have had huge gains. Some more alfalfa pictures. This is, again, second cut in 2018, early August. So that's my story about ACF and what we're doing on our farm.